Hello, this is Vulturefire, and today's video is going to be a user request. So somebody commented, I believe it was Vortex commented on one of my other YouTube videos requesting if I could play through a Silan deck that they submitted and provide feedback on the deck and show how I would play it, I guess. So we're going to do that. I'm going to start by buying all of the market stuff. Important notes here, we do have a reroll, which I will, as always, be using on a monster card. So this is the deck. I haven't changed it at all. This is exactly as it was sent to me, and I'm planning to play it without changing it. But I do want to note before we get started, at least in the starting deck, what I would change if if this were my deck. So the first thing that I notice is that we are reliant on the level 4 Silan passive in order to apply weak. We don't have Hobble. And I really, really like having Hobble. The level 4 passive you can use, but especially as you get later in the run and it becomes harder to shuffle your deck as often, I think you will want to have access to that. The other note is that in the starting deck, despite the name of the deck being Shield is Best, the only actual way to get shield that we have is the Invigorate, which is very expensive, and the deck is not set up to play it, which means that actually generating more shield, we are basically relying on brute forcing the first few fights quickly enough that the inability to build shield back up is not going to be a problem. I would usually go with Heavy Stand, although your other options here would be Overflowing Barrier isn't bad, although Silan can have problems chipping through all of that. All of the shield that you're giving the enemies, especially early on. Enchant Armor is an okay option, but I don't love it. Probably I would end up going with either Glacial Bulwark or Heavy Stand would be my shield options. So your other cards here, you have 2 copies of Moonlit Reverie, which I don't hate that choice. That's an interesting choice. I do think that I don't like the So Meditate is a card that is very good on Silan, but he gives Adept and Growth, and I think you've already got Growth pretty well covered with the Reveries and the Predict, and you've already got Adept from the Keen Contemplation and the Soul Shield. So I think Meditate I would swap out for the Hobble. The other note here, you have 1 Reload and 1 Scattered Mod. That's good. The mana I don't love. I don't like only having 4 mana cards, especially one of them is Predict. I know that Vortex said that they don't have all the cards unlocked, so Resolute Focus may not be an option. But if you look at all of these hangers, you'll notice that all of these are the same skill drop down, which means that Resolute Focus will be tripped by literally every card in the deck, and that is going to be worthwhile. I would run Resolute Focus definitely over the Charging Focuses. So the thing with Charging Focus is 2 mana, and you reduce the cost of Cannon Blast by 1, which is 3 mana if you play the Cannon Blast. But if you were already going to play 5 cards, then it doesn't give you that extra mana. Or if you weren't playing it, or if you can't play the Cannon Blast even with the Charging Focus, it doesn't give you the mana. And the other big downside here is, the biggest note here is it is only better than Resolute Focus in cases where you have multiple Cannon Blasts in hand, which you do have the one to reload, so it will come up sometimes, but I don't think it comes up often enough to justify running over the Resolute Focus. I also, so I would normally swap in like a Focus or a Gambler's Focus here. I would also consider, the Predict is interesting with the other growth options. I do think that I don't love the Meditate, but I do like having the Reveries and the Predict. I think that works out fine. The other card that I might consider here is Treasure Hunt, just because Treasure Hunt tends to be pretty good in Silan, because it gives you a lot of those 1-cost things to help you reduce the cost of your... It is card draw that also works well with the Cannon Blasts. So I'm probably not going to go through the full card pool in detail, but looking at it, my first notes. So looking at the epics, Curse Conjunction isn't bad. It can be a little bit awkward because hitting those arcane detonations later in a fight can be difficult, and we don't have any ways to shock or freeze in the starting deck, so we're never going to be getting those. Adrenaline Potion is good. Increasing Mana is good. I might swap Increasing Mana for the Spry Vigor or the Mana Eruption. No, I definitely swap Increasing Mana for the Mana Eruption. You've already got the Predict and the Moonlit Reveries. You definitely want Mana Eruption in your pool. And Mana Eruption is unlocked by default, so I know Vortex has that. Arcane Crystal is incredibly good, and it's hard to justify not having it. But not running it. But if you're not, it is also level 8, so I could see not having that unlocked. I don't know if Vortex is level 10. Oh no, Vortex is definitely level 10 because defensive mod is also level 10 or level 8. Or I don't know if Vortex is level 10, but Vortex is at least level 8. Heroic Recovery is very bad and has no place here, especially since there's no exhaustions in the starting deck. So yeah, your only exhaustion generation is Strenuous Vigor and Power Surge. This is only going to work once per fight. If you have a Strenuous Vigor, you're already winning. Like, Strenuous Vigor is such a powerful card that there is just no reason to run cards that are only going to do things for your deck when you already have the best card in your deck. So I would cut the Heroic Recovery here. I would probably put in Mnemonic Power is not an awful choice because that's just another way to get powerful going. Magic Cannon's not terrible. Elemental Barrier is medium but not bad. Charged Shield is already in the deck, so that's actually fine. Elemental Conflict is also pretty good. If you have Sanctity, I know Vortex said specifically when I asked that they didn't have Sanctity, but if you do have Sanctity, absolutely, that is the card that you want here. You're also a growth deck, so you can kind of support Singularity. Arcane Spellbomb's not bad. I do also like I wouldn't mind just having a third mana card, or Arcane Crystal, which is basically a mana card. Descent into Madness can be very good. It's another choice, but anyway, looking at the other cards, I don't like Mana Blossom ever. I've been over why, but to cover it again, Mana Blossom is a mana card that generates 4 mana, but you have to wait 2 turns for it. And that's pretty bad, especially since the Wits, with the 2 Moonlit Reveries in the starting deck, you're very likely not going to be actually drawing a card off this Wit, because you're just always going to have extra Wit sitting around. So that makes the Mana Blossom pretty bad. And the fact that you have to wait 2 turns for it is unfortunate. Mana Ritual is much better. If you've got the growth set up, I really would like to see Mind Seed here as an additional way to get growth going. Precarious Draught is very good if you have it. Weary Concentration is a new card, so it may not be unlocked quite yet, but I would absolutely like to have it. Endure can be very good because Silan likes having a way to get plated going. And with the Soul Shield, and then especially if you add in the Heavy Stand instead of the Invigorate, then it's going to be a lot easier to get Endure to happen. So Predator's Focus is good, Runic Focus is good. Shield Potion is okay. I don't hate it, but it's not my favoriteest mana card. I would generally prefer like Mind Seed or Mana Ritual over it. Charging Focus, I definitely don't want more of. Same with Predict. I don't think that those are cards that you are interested in taking more of. I'd rather see like a Weary Concentration and a Blazing Ritual and a Precarious. Blazing Ritual isn't in here. And Blazing Ritual is another card that I would just really like to see. Power Surge is fine. Don't hate that. Do really like Defensive Mod. Calculated Deception is actually a choice that I would consider, although now that it no longer gives Purity, it's less important. Mental Growth, again, like if you're trying to go for this growth build, I could easily see you fitting in Mental Growth. Regrowth is very good. I would run that. So yeah, Mind Over Body is good because it's taking advantage of the Wits from the Moonlit Reverie. Surprise Attack is good. Stone Skin is good. I would like to see Brainstorm probably. I'd like to have access to card draw. Cleansing Shield is very good. Purify is very bad. It basically does nothing. I would never run this. I don't think there's any deck where you can justify running Purify. There are too many fights where it's not going to do anything, and the fact that it will reduce status if possible means that there will be a lot of fights as well where, like, say you're in Area 1, you're fighting like Lore Blossom and Dweel, and so you've got like 3 arcanes sitting around from the Lore Blossom, and you want to be able to block the incoming damage from the Dweel. Purify won't help you because it's just going to reduce that 3 arcane, which doesn't do anything for you, instead of giving you the shield that would actually be helpful. Adaptative Spell is great. Love to see it. Barbed Gale, I don't think this deck is supporting Predator, really. We don't have the weak sources in the starting deck. We don't have really many ways to apply Vulnerable, I think. No. So yeah, I don't like the Barbed Gale. I don't think there's enough ways to pay it off. Mana Barrier is good. I think I've passed some cards. Oh, because I didn't look at the other comments. Combat Ready, I don't think I love it here. It's okay, but it's mostly just kind of spinning your wheels. I would much rather have Warcry. Let me find that. Warcry, if you have it. Warcry is Mighty and Critical, which are both very, very good. And it's just both things in one package, and giving week 2 is also nice. The nice thing about this is, like, if you have Warcry in your pool and you start with a Hobble, you can swap out the Hobble for a Warcry once you get it. Tempest Strike I really don't like here. It is not an amazing card, and it doesn't get any better with... It doesn't do a whole ton for you, is the point. I think this is just generally going to be an underwhelming pickup most of the time. There will be times when it's fine, but it's just never a card I'm happy to have. I would, again, much rather have some more card draw in here, because right now it looks like Adaptative Spell is our only real card draw in the entire pool. Because, let me check, I don't think there's any treasure stuff. And then Heroic Recovery doesn't count because it's basically never going to actually put you up on cards. I don't count Draw 1 as card draw because it's just replacing itself. It's not actually putting you up on cards. So yeah, the only actual card draw here is Adaptative Spell, which is unfortunate. Especially since, like, this deck can support Height of Knowledge, I think. And Height of Knowledge draws you so many cards. So swapping that in over one of the lower value other cards, I think would do a lot of work. Haunted Memory is fine. It's a little bit weird to see in the pool, but it's not the worst choice. I think I would generally prefer Crossbow Strike so that you can target the vulnerable anywhere and then just, like I said, have weak in the starting deck. But I don't think I would like either of them in the pool that much. I think I would rather just hope for Surprise Attack to show up. Aether Blast is pretty bad also as a choice. The big thing with Aether Blast is that extra bit of Arcane falls off pretty hard with Silan, since it will sometimes help you trip an Arcane Detonation, but later into a fight it can be a bit awkward. It's not bad. I just don't think I would tend to spend a card pool spot on it, because it is, generally speaking, going to be one of the weaker cards in your deck when you have it. Not useless, but not amazing either. Okay, so I said I wasn't going to go over the whole card pool, but then I did. So let's actually get into the run. I think this deck is I was very critical there, but I do want to be clear. I do think this deck is good enough. I think that this deck, like, there are cards I would change, but overall the deck has the pieces that I would want to see, which is that it has the access to Cleanse, it has Defensive Mod, which is incredibly powerful, it has Strenuous Vigor, and a couple ways, and at least one way to get powerful, and a way to get temporary plated at least. You know, it has Surprise Attack, it has Adaptative Spell. So it's got a lot of pieces that are good. This will definitely, I think, be a winning run, unless I think if this deck does not win, it will be because I misplayed it. I just don't think this deck is the best it could be, based on my experience with the game. So, Adaptative Spell, because it's our only card draw, so I just want to get that going immediately. All those cards were like, I also would have been happy to have the Stone Skin, but this is kind of a tough choice. Martial Garb, having that evade is nice. I think just having the emergency backup mana is too valuable to pass up. Okay, so I might take an Icy Cure. I actually might take a Dead Chill Bolt here. That seems okay. Dead Chill Bolt seems okay. Neither of these cards does anything, but that lets us take a shot at Arcane Aegis. It lets us go through this elite fight. So that gives us 2 elite fights. If we go right, we only get the 1 elite fight. The other thing is this gives us 3 events, which is very good. And I think the 3 events is more valuable than the fact that both of these cards are very good for this deck. And we do still get a chance at Mana Dance. And also Relentless Assault isn't bad for this deck. But I think we go left because we would rather have the 3 events and the extra elite, even if it means a worse boss fight. Also, we get to start with this 50-50 shot at getting Arcane Aegis, and actually either of the cards that drop here would be pretty fine to have. Poppity pop, and easy fight one. That was actually a very good opening hand. Okay, against, I would normally take the Corrupted Blast here, but against Munchroom, I think we just need the Cleansing Shield. Okay, so the question we have to decide is, do we want mana or do we want to draw cards? I think we've got enough mana that we can afford to draw cards here. If we play this, we won't be able to use, well, we might, because we can use this. Because that'll draw us. This is the first time we've actually drawn this. So I think we'll be able to kill the, yeah, we'll be able to kill you. The nice thing about Invigorate, I guess, is that it does get rid of the, it does deal with the Frail, which I'm guessing is why it's here. It does have to wait until end of turn to do that, though, which is sometimes going to be suboptimal, but yeah, starting deck is definitely working. Like I said, I would change the starting deck a bit, but part of it is just like Scattered Mod forgives a lot of sins. It's Scattered Mod, as you have seen, makes such short work of early fights, especially with, I guess that is the reason to keep the Meditate and have the all the sources of Adept, is that it makes the early fights incredibly easy. But I'm not totally convinced, but I guess that does make some sense. Yeah, I don't love any of these. I think I like the Aether Blast a little bit more as a way to apply Vulnerable, since we don't have that yet. And definitely going to take the Bag of Tools over the other thing. The Bag of Tools is just very good for Silan. Give me a second checking a note. Okay, so let's, yeah, we're going to draw cards with Adaptative Spell again. Oh, I should have played this first if I was going to, but I guess we are kind of committed at this point to not playing that. And we will just start at you. Okay, we do not currently have Adapt, so that needs to happen early. The question is, do we want to play Keen Contemplation? That forces a shuffle. So do we want to force the shuffle first? Or do we want to play some of these first? I think we want to play this, and then we want to force the shuffle, because this gives us a chance to draw, yeah, that again. And so now we have Adapt. So I should have done this first. That's going to happen. Let's see what tools we get, which, again, sequencing is difficult. I guess this is mana. I'm actually going to upgrade one of the Scattered Blasts here, because I think that'll get us the win now. Yeah. There we go. So Runic Focus versus Shield Potion. It's a tough choice. I think I will take the Runic Focus. I can also force the reroll here to get Mana Dance if I thought that was going to be very important to the run, but I don't think it will be. So as far as cuts here go, I think that the cut is going to be the Meditate, although, like I said, the Aether Blast is also an option. Let me see if we don't have another chance at other vulnerable sources, though, so I think we're going to cut the Meditate for now. And we're going to go into this fight. Okay, so do I just need to get mana out of Scattered Mod? Or, sorry, out of Adaptative Spell? I should, but yeah, I'm counting on the fact that I have access to this. We can draw into spells, or into skills. Let's start by applying Vulnerable. Oh, we have starting Adept from the event, which I just click through events without reading them a lot of the time, which, you know. All right, yeah, I think we're just not going to bother getting, popping the mana this turn. Next turn will be fine. Yeah, pretty good turn one. Let's see what we get here. We can draw a card. So we can do this. I don't think we can actually play it this turn though. So I think I'm going to play the Shocking Baton last because I would like to use this on a scattered mob because that's going to do slightly more damage. Right. We get to avoid taking any damage, which is nice. And the deck shuffles. Okay. Start with that. Okay, we don't want to burn the thing on. Let's do this. Draw 3. Okay. Let's get. Yeah, I am going to play the Cleansing Shield. And yes, this is going to give us lots of damage. And now we can just clean up. And there's the win. And we get full health at the end of the fight. Strenuous Vigor is... So, Arcane Silence is very tempting, but Strenuous Vigor is just such a powerful card to have access to. And then Magic Plated helps it a ton. So, Strenuous Vigor was nerfed this patch, so you now do have to upgrade it to only get 1 exhaustion. But I think that's still a worthy choice. I think I might cut a Moonlit Reverie here. I'm not sure I need both at this point. I also may not need... Well, the Invigorate can give... No, I don't need the Invigorate, I think, because I don't think I'm going to be playing it, and Strenuous Vigor is going to be healing. So I think we should be fine without it. So let's... I sequenced things wrong because I should have made sure that I could get this off, but it's fine. Okay. Let's see what tools we get. Ooh. Let's copy the Cannon Blast, I guess. So we want to blow up the Frost Barrier before we do this. Now we get Frostbitten. Draw some cards. Okay. We have a Frail. Oh, I should have played that because I wasn't thinking about the fact that, of course, whatchamacallit is a spell. Alright, we can empower ourselves, which means that we now have lots of plated to work with. And we aren't quite going to get frozen here because the 1 decay from status happens before the frostbite is applied. So we are going to get to apply... We are going to get to freeze ourselves, which is actually something we do want to do. It's just a question of what we freeze ourselves with. I think we'll just play this. Alright. Let's see. Play that to get rid of the Frail. Play that to get more shield, which will also do another thing. Oh, also get rid of one of the Frostbite, which is relevant because we're about to have Frostbite tripped on us here. So the one downside to taking that to upgrading Strenuous Vigor is that it means that we now do not have Scattered Mod Plus yet, and normally I would like to by now, but okay. I might take the Protect here. I might also take, because just like having more mana would be nice. We don't have a ton of mana right now, but Predict is a pretty low quality mana card. Icy Cure isn't bad, but I don't think we need it. Mind Over Body is also very tempting as a way to get a lot of shield, and I think we will need that going into Munchroom. Trying to think if I want to. Okay, if we only have 8 max mana to start with. We do get more, but from growth pretty quickly, but still. Oh, I don't have enough mana cards. I'm used to that giving me a shot at an upgrade, but we don't have the mana cards. Starting tough is nice. It makes things a little bit easier. Alright. Let's draw some skills. I think this needs to be mana, but unfortunately, I have to use this to get mana out of it. That's fine. It's not my favorite, but it's fine. Okay. Let's see what we get out of this, because if we could get an upgrade. Nope, no luck. Okay. Curse you. We're going to start on the back one. And we'll deal with our Frail at least. So unfortunately they are all poisoning us on turn 1, which is not amazing for us. But it does mean that the Mind Over Body will get to do work. All right. Yeah, we take a little bit of damage, but not much. And we get even more poison. The nice thing is we can afford to play Shrivels thanks to Strenuous Vigor. I love it when I can't think of a card and then I draw exactly the card. And the reason we can play them thanks to Strenuous Vigor is that Strenuous Vigor is providing healing. Alright, we are taking a lot more damage than I would have liked, but it's fine. Okay, I think we are drawing cards with that. Let's draw cards with that first. Okay, so we want to play this. And that. I guess we'll just get more growth. And work on getting these kills. By work on getting these kills, I mean we will just get these kills. Okay, Depraved Designs is incredibly good. Peace of Mind is also very, very good. But we have, I think our lack of other card draw makes me lean towards the Depraved Designs. It is a card that really badly wants an upgrade, which I guess is a reason that I probably should have considered not taking it. I think we need Scatter Mod Plus. And yeah, Aether Blast I think is just a little bit too awkward. I think the fact that it is a decent amount of mana hurts it too much. So, in terms of pickups here, we can re-roll to ensure we get Gleaming Aegis, and we can re-roll to ensure we get Dragon Form, which means that this is a victorious run, basically. Especially with a Strenuous Vigor. Let's create some tools. Okay. Oh, I should have been paying attention to my hand size. Okay. I think... I think we discard this, even though it would have gotten us extra mana next turn, because it could help us with some stuff next turn. So the reason that I didn't hit this one is that I want to hit that shock again with the Scattered Mod, which I am happy to see here. What's in the deck? Okay. So we will, the important thing is this will not shuffle. This will, and it will also guarantee draw us 1 mana card. We still have this. Yeah, okay, I think we're doing that. This is extra mana because Adaptative Spell is a spell. I heal this for 1. I could play the Depraved Designs, but I could have gone for the, whatchamacallit. I just chose not to. We will lose 2 of our plated stacks because of the new plated changes. But I'm pretty sure we've got a win here, so see what we draw. Okay. We can't get... Right. There we go. And then... There we go. So, surprise attack. Love to see it. And this is also very good. Okay, so the reason I choose the middle option there in this Natha ambush event, which I realize I click through events pretty quickly because I've played through them so many times. The reason you click the middle option is that if you end up in a fight, you'll be against a fight with an ambushed Natha, and that has a chance to avoid the fight entirely. And also, it has a chance... The only downside to it, potentially, is that you take 5 damage, lose 5 health. That said, I actually probably should have made sure I fought the Natha, because I do actually get some amount of value here from the fight against the Natha if it drops the card that I want, which is the one that gives powerful. Because we don't have a way to get powerful right now. And being able to stack powerful will, of course, be very useful for our purposes. I think we're just going to clone the Cannon Blast. We're going to take a little bit of damage here, but we can't get critted because we had blown up the critical stack. And we have exactly enough space in hand for that. So if we draw cards with this, it will draw exactly the Shrivels, which I'm okay with, but it's just something I'm going to have to play around. So I just want to get the Shrivels out of the deck. All right, we are not playing the that. We are playing the this. And then we'll do that. Just get some shield. And then blow up that critical, which is going to help us. Okay. The vulnerable wore off, so we want to reapply that. Emergency mana coming in handy again. And there's the win. Alright. I might burn a... Oh, I would really like a defensive mod, though. I was going to burn a reroll here to get the powerful source, but I do really like defensive mod. But do we need defensive mod if we have Gleaming Aegis coming up? Maybe not. No, I think we're going to reroll here for Bloody Rage. I know this means that we may not be able to reroll for Dragon Form, but I think being able to stack powerful in this upcoming fight is worthwhile. So... this is a little bit awkward. We are going to take some bleed damage, but not too much. Alright, so now we have 30 powerful. Draw some cards. Okay, I think this is going to be mana this turn. I suppose it could have also been damage, technically. But... let's see what we get. Okay, because if we gotten a clone, I would have happily cloned the Scattered mod. Okay, I can play this and it will draw... Actually, I'm fine with this because it's definitely drawing the Shrivel, and then I don't really care about playing that, which is nice. I would have been willing to pay for one of the other things. Alright, there is that quest done. I would have been willing to pay for... use this to get Surprise Attack out. Right. So there is Healing Potion, which will get rid of our Frail. We're definitely drawing cards with Adaptative Spell this turn. Okay, we are exploding this turn, which is unfortunate, but not the end of the world. I wasn't thinking I burned that Purity on the Frail, which I didn't mean to do. It's fine. I do want to play that. And yeah, we just barely get exploded here. So this is only going to draw 3 this time, but it only creates 1 Strenuous Vigor. So, yeah, this is why being able to apply weak would be nice, because then we could prevent taking any damage here. We're not going to be able to reload this turn. I will Moonlit Reverie into that. Oh, maybe we will actually. We did actually, because I am very clever and good at this video game. And there we go. That's legal. All right, Gleaming Aegis. And what are we cutting? That is the question. I think at this point we cut one of the Moonlit Reveries now that we have a way to get Purity, because Moonlit Reverie becomes a lot worse when you have when it's eating your Purity. I don't think I want to cut both of them. Do we have another way to get? Oh, do we have another way to get wits? We do not. Okay. The bottom option there would have been a removal if I wanted it, which is why I was thinking. Okay. So we want to cleanse that off. We don't need that shield. And then, there we go. We didn't even need to cleanse off the bleed. I just did it in that order because I could. So the Frostbite is potentially a problem. Alright, this is going to be mana this turn. And then I think we go into Runic Focus next. Now we have Mighty. Oh, I should have waited until after this. I was thinking that I wanted to get off before I did damage, but I absolutely wanted to up the Purity count here. We're absolutely going to draw cards here. Yeah, because this lets us get out this Gleaming Aegis, which is going to be nice. This is also going to do good work. Gleaming Aegis. And that means that we can now play the Moonlit Reverie if we want to. We couldn't before, again, because we didn't want to accidentally get frozen. But now that we have the extra stack of Purity, we're safe. Take basically no status. We can afford to do this, especially because we are planning to play Strenuous Vigor this turn. Just get mana for next turn. We want to do this first so that we get the extra Purity, because we're going to spend one of the Purity on that. And now, yeah, the Frostbite trips, but it can't freeze us because we have the Purity, and that is very good for us. And also, we have 5 plated, so this poor fool cannot do anything to stop us. And also 6 powerful, so yeah. Ooh, Elemental Strike. So Elemental Strike is very, very good, but we don't have that many multi-hits. The fact that we can empower it is nice, but we don't have that many multi-hits, and I would like to just have better mana, so we're just taking the increasing mana here. All these are pretty mediocre, but Scaled Grimoire is fine. I think we actually upgrade the Adaptative Spell over the Depraved Designs, because it's also going to draw us more cards, but it will always draw us those cards without the Shrivels, and it doesn't have the downside of being annoying. It doesn't have the downside of something. Oh, it has the other upside of getting up mana from other ways as well. That's what I meant to say. Deciding if there's anything I want to cut here. I am generally less aggressive about cutting things than I should be, as I say in basically every video, and it's still true here. So let's go. I would take a Cornered Focus, which I think is of these the only one I would take. That's interesting. We do want to get mighty. Okay. See what we get here. All right. Okay, so we want to get powerful, which I shouldn't have. I made some poor choices here. We're taking a lot of damage we didn't have to take, but somehow I think the fight's going to be fine. Wow, nice damage you got there. Bite. Yep. Stone Skin is also very good, but because we already have the permanent plated, we don't need it. And I like the extra mana from the cornered focus. Okay. See what we get out of this. Just see if any of it's relevant. That's nice. Let's draw skills first. Okay. So this is nice. The question is mostly, do we want to do this and that before we... I think we're taking enough incoming that we want to get the damage out first. So let's do... Oh, and then that lets us do this. Although, I think I need the mana more than I need the extra shield right now. Yeah, especially... everything's fine, actually. Yeah, now we take basically no damage, so we're going to heal back. Yeah. Silan's pretty good, actually. I don't know if you guys know that. Ice Shards is kind of tempting, but we don't have any other ways to get Frost out. Have I taken a second? Did I take 2 predicts? No, I only have the 1. I don't really having a second predict. I don't think I need the Cleansing Shield. None of these really do anything. Max Arcane is slightly better than nothing. As far as upgrades go, the Increasing Mana is very good. The Gleaming Aegis is very good. The Depraved Designs Plus is very good. The Keen Contemplation is very good. I think we go with Keen Contemplation. Oh. Okay, so we get the Wisp fight here. This does... Do we have any strikes? I don't think we do. No, and we don't really plan to pick up any. We don't plan to spend mana on spells. This gives us the crit chance. Yeah, we'll just discard it. Okay, so... Okay, we need to get mana out of that, I think. Oh, I should have done that first. Oh, this is how I can get mana out of it. Boom. Now I get to draw spells. We get some mighty. Just getting more buffs to use with... I guess we may as well play these if we're going to be healing back anyway. Technically we're affected by the who's and what, but it's fine. By the frail, but poppity poppity pop. Silan's pretty good actually, guys. Serena's Vigor wasn't even a huge thing as part of that. This was largely just off the back of... I think we're getting more damage off these arcane detonations sometimes than we should. And I'm not sure, I don't know why, but we're definitely, I think, getting a bit more, because there was 12 damage, 12 health on that arcane wisp, and it got hit by a detonation and it died, and I don't think we have anything that should cause that to happen. Well, we'll just take, well, if I reroll here, I'm guaranteed to get Mystic Ritual, but I think we'll just take the defensive mod. I think defensive mod is perfectly good to have. And we do want to reroll here for the dragon form, if we aren't just given it. Okay. So I think we need to play this before the Cleansing Aegis. Because I think we do need... access to Aegis this turn. Or Aegis this fight. Purity this fight. Words. Alright, we're absolutely going to defensive mod. If we can afford to play those, we can draw a lot of cards. Do we get any more buffs later this turn? Yes, we get wits when we play this. So we're going to play this first into the defensive blast. I need to cut this because we don't have enough wits for it. Yeah, I would really like to have more consistent ways to apply weak, but I don't think we're going to... so Dead of Night, I guess, would be the pickup that we want. Thinking through how we get hand space to draw cards. There we go. Oh, I was thinking I was saving this to get rid of this frail, but I don't have to because we have all this purity, and we're going to get more. Yeah, surprise attack. Set that up again. Strenuous Vigor. Still doing work. We now have 5 plated and 5 powerful. I should have done that first. Well. Now I could actually play this, though. Because I actually did this first because I decided that I wanted to be able to do that. And Strenuous Vigor does allow the cannons to keep working throughout the run. Normally the cannons would start to fall off, but because we have... I think I want to draw cards. Because we have the ability to stack powerful, we're able to keep the cannons relevant throughout the entire fight. I don't think we need to play defensive mod this turn. Absolutely, we are upgrading the Runic Focus, copying the Scattered Blast. Poppity pop. Lots of mana. Pop goes one more of the plated. Oh, I should have done that first so that I could get full value. Oh well. We don't need more tough. I think the only thing I would take over Dragon Form is Strenuous Vigor. Let's get mana because we can do that, and then we don't need the shield. Purity is intact. We have enough room for all of those. Deferred Designs, I'm pretty sure, should not be able to create 0 shrivels. Let's see if it does, just because for bug purposes. Okay. Shoot mana. Alright. There's the tough gone. Which makes life a little bit easier. And we'll just get more shields so we can just fully block this without even really worrying about our max. And there we go. There's Dragon Form. Happy to have it. Absolutely going to upgrade it. This does nothing for us. This is slightly better, I think, than this is. Upgrade the Dragon Form. Remove. We don't need the Bloody Rage now that we have the Dragon Form, I think. Because we really only needed it as a powerful starter. I think that we did want to have it for the Emerald Dragon fight. Okay, so Bailator's not a problem. I would like to have an ability to apply weak to it, which we can potentially get here from this Persecute. I also appreciate that like we haven't needed to spend these rerolls in a lot of places. This guy's a jerk. We're going to draw cards, but then we won't be able to draw more cards this turn, because now we are at... oh, I should have done this. Now we are at the point where if we draw any more cards, we will hit fatigue. And we can power. Pop. Okay, I need to watch how much damage gets taken by an arcane detonation. There's some powerful. I think we want to draw with this first. Because that has a better chance of this being mana. It was not. No luck. Do we need more shield this turn? No. Do we need more purity this turn? Yes. Because we're going to play that. And that. And this is already tagging us, so we do need more purity. Okay, so this is doing, let's see, 20 plus 14 arcane. So this is going from, this will trigger an arcane detonation, so this should take it to 86, and then an additional 15 because of the, it's 15 because of the arcane. So it should go from 106 to 86, and then from 86 to 71. Okay, taking 6 extra damage from somewhere after that detonation happens, and I'm not sure why. Oh, I bet it's doubling the arcane. I bet what's happening here is that Silan's level 4 is affecting the thing that the detonation hit. Let me bug report that. Sorry, it's Silan's level 7 passive. And that is obviously a pretty ridiculous improvement to the total power of that. Too vulnerable. Curse you. Curse you! Detonate. Detonate twice, which is pretty nice. And just keep hitting you. And then you're going to detonate again, which take away another stack. Okay. Okay. I want to draw cards off of this, but I want to kill you first. Because I want to be able to not get hit by the nonsense. Okay, let's draw more cards for value, and then blow you up, and blow you up again. So with the Mighty gone, we don't take too much damage here. And by not take much damage, I mean like we don't break our shield. Right, I need to cut the Mind Over Body. I forgot. I suppose we do get to a point where it's fine. Because once we get Strenuous Vigor going, we will eventually kill this snail. Should really do that first. So we'll kill you, and then shock you, and then blow up the Frenzy, which is handy. We don't need more tough. We don't need more growth. We don't need more wits, probably. It does cost us one of our plated stacks, but it's fine. Right. Apply a little bit of shocked. Apply a little bit more shocked. And detonate a couple times. Persecute's great. Give us a way to apply weak more consistently. And I don't think we want Persecute Plus. I think we just upgrade the Depraved Designs. Make that a better card. Alright. Reload. We can afford to deal with the Moonlit Referee. It's not a real problem. See what we get out of that. Okay. So, I'm deciding what I want this to have. I think just giving it a lot of weak makes sense. And then we will work on detonating you. I think we kill it. We should go front to back here in terms of kills, I think. Oh. We do want to draw off of that, but actually I guess we just need mana at this point. Let's get powerful up. The weak is annoying. We can get purity up as well. We can cleanse off one of the... And then we're going to play this first, and then just detonate some things. So there's taunt set up on the back one, which not going to be a problem for us. We need to get some cards, some space for cards in hand. Shock. And then, boom, into mana. And then shock. And then boom, into Gleaming Aegis, and then kill, and then we don't have to worry about Arcane detonating ourselves, and we win anyway. Clear Focus is great, that's what I would have taken. Aether Mantle is amazing. And we're going to get mana with that. I should have played that immediately after. Let's apply vulnerable to you. Oh, but now I can't play this because I don't want to lose purity. It's fine. There's no point in getting more tough. I think we are fine on tough. I think we will be fine on tough. So that cost us one of our temporary powerful stacks, or one of our temporary plated stacks, right? Yes. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how many we should have. Okay. That needs to happen. This needs to happen. This needs to happen, but I need to make space in my hand first. Alright, there's some cleanse, which is nice. Actually, I probably should work on focusing down the front one. Because if I can avoid getting cursed this turn, that'd be nice. Which should be able to do. Alright. There is more powerful. I think we should just be able to detonate twice. Oh no, that won't be a... 2 detonations won't be a kill. It's only going to be... But we will be able to get all 3 detonations that we need. I wasn't sure about. Let's see what we draw. Dragonfly. More shocks. And again, we could play these, but I don't think we need to. So we're just going to do this. Massive detonations. And we take basically no damage, and the thing dies to its own curse. We could afford Morbid End, but I don't think we want it. Do we just take Shield Potion? I guess. And yeah, we're going to cut the Mind of Robotics. I think it's a little too awkward to play. Hungering Focus would be a great pickup here. Let's start with this. Yeah, we can apply that. Okay. So I could play Keen Contemplation, but I think I just want to do this. Seems entirely reasonable for turn 1. Oh, I didn't even realize that Flash Bomb is now only week 1 instead of week 2. That makes sense. I think that was changed at some point after the level 4 passive change, which would be why I hadn't noticed. Or I'm just clueless. You know, either one is possible. I should always be very clear that I am unobservant, and it's always possible that something didn't change and I just didn't notice. Or something changed long before I noticed it. There we go. Yeah, we can spin a reroll here. We're going to spin possibly another reroll here. I think I am willing to play Ruinous Gamble, which is an excellent card. Okay, so we do not have any Cannon Blasts in hand, which is a little bit unfortunate. Partially because it means we don't have any spells for this Runic Focus. But we still kind of want to get Mighty out. Yeah. More Curse with you because you're attacking. Actually, I should have put... No, I guess it doesn't matter a ton. That comes out first, and then we gain more Purity. Block that incoming. Absolutely want to reload first. I should do this first, because if I get a clone, I think that Dragon Form is the thing I would want to clone. Boom, and boom. Pretty good amount of damage. There goes our Privy, unfortunately, but... let's draw some cards. Oh, I am sequencing things wrong. So I want to play this to draw cards. So I'm kind of trying to arrange things such that I can do that. Like so. So this would... I guess we're fine playing that. Yeah, absolutely was fine playing that to get that. And now we can play this. We need to kill you next turn so that we can prevent getting doomed. I think it's going to be a huge issue if we do get doomed, because we're not exactly low on whatever, but okay, I lied. We have another turn until we get doomed. My internal clock was off. All right. All right. So we are just applying lots of shock. Doing a whole lot of damage. Taking a whole lot of not taking a whole lot of damage in return. So I want to get the healing off of that, but I actually don't need it. So we're just gonna, oh, well, I can just do that then. We were gonna get healing anyway from the forge, but you know, it's the principle of the thing. Yeah, Corrupted Fawn is good, but I think we want the Ruinous Gamble. We are going to upgrade it though, just to be safe. And Poisonous Grimoire is actually okay. Ruinous Gamble upgrade. I cut that shield card right, yeah. Do we need Cleansing Shield? We actually might not at this point. Because we're not fighting. If we were fighting Ma, I would, but we're not, so. Alright, let's go here. This is unfortunate turn one against this jerk. But we can afford it. And it means that we get another Cannon Blast. So that gives us all of those. So this gives us more Doom, which is why we're safe using Ruinous Gamble. I'm not a big fan of that thing getting having set up more Opportunist for next turn, but let's see what tools we get. Ooh, that's nice. That means we don't have to worry about the Opportunist this turn. Although it looks like we won't be able to take advantage of that. Still. Bonk, 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 bonk. Oh, but we get those big detonations because they're frozen, which we do get to take advantage of. Let's see. Oh, you're just going to die outright, which is a little unfortunate. Because I would rather... Actually, no, we do this, and then the poison kills this one. So we still get this kill. Poisonous Grimoire, saving the day. Let's blow you up. Oh, not quite. Let's draw some cards then. More mana, because we have lots of card draw sitting around. Poppity pop. not quite lethal. I don't think I want to get this kill though, because we're going to get the kill here, and then we can pop off the frenzy, which I do want to do. Makes it a little bit easier on us. Should have done that first to get the extra powerful. Oh man. And we just get to keep blowing up this jerk. Yeah, this fight is easy, it's just fairly lengthy because of the mollusks taking a decent amount of time to kill. I don't really need any of this, but the second surprise attack isn't the worst. I'll probably end up cutting it. Use it when we get to rests, but I don't hate having a second one for now. Let's go ahead and start with that. We'll use the Hunger and Focus to get rid of the Frail. Oh, let's really make your day worse. See what we get. Ooh. A little bit more draw. We can also deal with the Frail that way. Right. Not the best way to use up the shock, but I'm not too concerned. Okay, so I'm going to do this first because I want to be able to, get this Ruinous Gamble. Because I want to gamble before I Strenuous Vigor. I think I also want to upgrade this Runic Focus. Which means Runic Focus is now on. And we're technically going to be getting one fewer card, but I think we'll be fine. Try to get more cards. And surprise attack. We don't need to keep surprise attacking. Alright, there we go. There is the Bog Golem down. And play the Shrivel, because actually at that point we do want to play that because then it will make space for drawing as many cards as possible. And we take 3 whole damage. Now we are threatened for quite a bit more than 3 because we have that thing, but it's fine. Shocking is always fun. And we can empower ourselves, which will heal us as well. And get the mana. Keep popping. And then this will let us surprise attack here, which I know that I didn't mention, like I didn't want to take. I didn't want to let it frenzy, although that is very funny to me that the frenzy got dealt with because one of the frenzy turns got blown up with the arcane barrier. That works out nicely. Start by drawing more cards. And we can draw 5. Yeah, the shield potion in the longer fights does lose its value eventually, but it takes a while. Let's do these. $17 damage. We have lethal from the we have triple lethal. This was only double lethal because we had the poison and the blade were both lethal. Predator's focus is pretty good. Fine having that. This doesn't do a ton, but it's, I think, marginally better than passing. Okay. Do that first. We do want to play this. Do that. It's like weak. Get those on the back one. Make room in my hand. And unfortunately, we don't have any additional who's and what's in hand. Any additional cannon blasts in hand, but it's fine. Let's make sure you're shut down for as long as possible. Let's. We have all of our buffs, so we can empower. And we just draw into these shrivels that we aren't going to use. All right, not a bad turn one. Oh, right. It actually works with adaptative spell. That's actually very relevant. I'm trying to make room in hand so that I can adaptative. Right, now we have Purity, which means that we can afford to play this Frigid Current. Oh, that was not the thing I meant to do. I meant to play the Surprise Attack. It's fine. And all the players is gone. Let's see what we get. Just do that so we can get extra card draw. Dragon form. Sure. Okay. One. Okay, 2 more fights. Let's... And we can actually just do this to get... Oh. I didn't expect to do that much damage. And then... Here to finish off. Finish off. Okay. Oh, that was weird. Okay. Yeah, there's a bug where I ended my turn a little too early, and that's why we took all that damage there. I should have. You have to wait for the turn to end because of freezing, or else that happens and you it takes your next turn as well. It's basically just a bug. All right. Upgrading a common card. I actually kind of like the Moonlit Reverie Plus. Yeah, I think we just go with Moonlit Reverie Plus. Sure. So we made it here without using any rusts, which is, yeah, so the deck worked pretty well. Like I said, there are some changes I would make. I stand by, I think, most of the things I said as far as changes go. But I definitely see why Vortex was impressed with the deck. This, like I said, it has all the pieces it needs in order to work. And the fact that there are a couple places where you could maybe make it a little bit better does not take away from how powerful the pieces it has are. Of course, that said, a lot of this was Strenuous Vigor plus monster cards, the deck. Was a lot of what happened here. Just taking X mana, I think the deck is now good enough that it will win. And none of that matters. Okay, but yeah, because like as far as cards go, we have monster card, 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 monster card. So of the 25 cards we have, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the last page. So over a third of our cards are monster cards, which, you know, and several of the others are. If you don't count the mana cards, it's even more lopsided. But yeah, not a bad deck. It definitely works out, and we just have to bring it home. Let's go Moonlit Reverie. This is just going to pop off one of those. All right, we have plenty of room in our hand to draw. Let's see what we get here. Okay, there is the strenuous figure that, of course, we really want to see. I think we're okay burning a shock on getting rid of one of those purity stacks. I think we do want to defensive mod here before we we're just gonna do that, I guess, to get rid of the other stacks. We can defensive mod. Okay. We do actually need this shield, but we do still have enough after playing the shield to strenuous figure. Yeah, we weren't able to get weak out, unfortunately, because of all of the starting purity. Let's get mana. But we were able to find weak on the backswing, as it were. And we're going to take a tiny amount of damage here, but it's not going to be a problem. Let's see what we get here. Yeah. Because we're going to take literally 2 damage, which is not going to be enough to really make our day work. Baylater, on the other hand, absolutely is not having a great day. Draw 5. I'm going to play that before we Aftershock. I'm going to play this before we Strenuous Vigor so that we can heal back the... Alright, and we have plenty of purity, so we're just going to go and do that. I should use the hammer, though, before I gain any more shield. Let's hammer the surprise attack, I think. Just says make sure that we have that ambushed more permanently. Now I'm drawing cards to get space in hand for the gamble. Right. At this point, that's just mana. Alright, we can Strenuous Vigor. Get enough shield. And we just win. I think. Yes, because the frail meant that it couldn't heal. So that is Vortex's deck. And yeah, it worked out. It did the things it was supposed to do. And I will, if anybody watching is interested in submitting your own deck, absolutely let me know. In the comments, you can join the Discord, DM me. That's actually the way to do it. My username is Falterfire, #7778. I will mention that in the description. And yeah, you can just send me your deck and let me know that you want me to play it on stream, or on stream, on a video. And I have a hunch my audience is small enough that this won't be an issue, at least to begin with. So submissions are open. Ideally, make an interesting deck. If you want to build me the worst deck possible, go ahead. If you want to play it build a deck that is so bad I can't win with it, go ahead. Although I would say that if the reason it can't win is because you put in 0 mana cards, that's not going to be a challenge. Or you can send me your favorite decks. Either way. Favorite decks like this one, or least favorite decks that you just want to make my day worse. Either way, I will see you guys next time. Toodles.